Be nice to have a shop big enough to bring the whole rig in, but not there yet. But I have no tips for anybody. I have no clue what I'm doing for the most part. You're so cute. Yeah. Not bad. Also not sure if any of you guys are into astrology, but also getting ready to do some more work to the Freightliner 3406B Cat. Also, I'm just gonna put this out here now before anyone gets excited. I'm not a pro welder. I just do what I have to do to get by. And there's a little crappy old Clark. I got a Miller TIG. I used to do okay at that, but mainly anymore, I just rip welds with the MIG and make stuff stick together good. But I have no tips for anybody. I have no clue what I'm doing for the most part. I just play around with the settings until the welds look okay, and go from there. All right, today I'm gonna add a few more D-rings to the 2-car trailer. I added a whole bunch of these. It only had a few on it, and now I'm gonna add a few more. I think I'm gonna add them more towards the center so I can have a few more options. And I think I might add a few more in between some of these. It seems like I'm always looking for a tweener between these ones and that one, so I'll probably put one there at that seam, one here in the middle, and then the rest I'm gonna do, I think, about 2 feet in, just so they'll be just inside where the average car wheel would be. I think that'll be pretty good. And then I think I'm gonna put 2 right here, one here and one over here, because often I hang the front of a car over the edge here, and then that way I could go from their wheel over to here and get a good forward pull. It's finally not raining out, so I gotta head to Long Island today, so I'm gonna knock this out, go pick up a sweet 70s van, and head out east. This is a little 2-car trailer. I had it custom built. It's only 28 feet, so it fits 2 normal sized drift cars pretty nicely, but as soon as you try to start putting more current size vehicles, it gets pretty tight. But that's why you can overhang a little bit here and off the back. I fit 2 sedans on here. They're snug, but it got the job done. Then I can throw a single car on here and not feel like an idiot driving around with just one car on it. All right, that's what I would call threading the needle. It's about as far as the trailer will go in, touching the swing arms over there and over here. And I got just enough extension on my 220 extension cord to get to welding all the way up here, just barely, because this is about exactly where I want those furthermost hooks to be, and then I can work my way back. Be nice to have a shop big enough to bring the whole rig in, but not there yet. When I get the wire wheel out and start going to town. I just remembered that back here, I don't like this. I got rid of these spring-loaded latches. I don't really trust those things. I've had bad luck, and then I just drilled holes in the ramps there so I could run a lock in. Problem is, when the tail end hits the ground, it yanks the lock, and since the lock can't swing all the way up, it twists the lock and almost breaks it. This one has been a little twisted, and then I actually broke one leaving Virginia the other night. So think I'm gonna try to figure out a way to, I thought about just slotting this, so then that allows the lock to swing all the way up if it were to hit the ground, and I don't think they'd really get damaged. Or I have to come up with a whole new game plan as far as locking these things down. I'm trying to keep it pretty simple. Try to come up with something today. All right, we got 3 down. Both those up front. Just started on the deck. Finally got the welder dialed in. I broke my regulator, so I'm just guessing by sound on hearing the argon come through. But I think we got it dialed in good enough to knock all this out. Pretty excited. It's nice having a lot of options to tie stuff down. And I have to move a big toolbox really far along with 2 cars, so I'm going to tie down a big 3-bay toolbox up front there, and then I believe a Subaru Legacy, and then I'm going to put a little K truck on the very back here. So having these extra tie downs will definitely be convenient. Not bad. Not bad for pretty much just ripping it onto painted metal. So pretty much just I just knock off a little bit of paint to get the initial weld to spark up, and then just rip, and then it kind of just burns all the paint away. Not mad about that. All right, that's the last one I got. Wish I had 4 more. Maybe like 6 more actually. But these ought to do. Now to figure out what I'm doing here for this lock setup. That reminds me I need to go get locks too, because this one doesn't match that one. That one's actually for the tongue. I had to steal it the other night when I broke that lock dragging it on a driveway when I was leaving a shop. This one's all twisted. They're in bad shape. So I'm gonna come up with something here and then hopefully get to cutting and welding in the next few minutes. Whole bunch of D-rings now though. Probably put one here, over here. Eventually, just gotta make another order. All right, just finished this up. I decided just to notch this corner of the ramp so the lock can swing all the way up, just in case the back end of this trailer tries to touch the ground. Before, it would just hit this and twist the lock and just try to break it. So now I can swing all the way up and I didn't have to go crazy welding a bunch of stuff. So that ought to do. I'd like to add another one here and right here, but for now got this one, added this one, these two, and those 2. So that'll help, especially when I move this toolbox in the next couple days. I'm just gonna wrap it around from this one over the top to that. I'm always nervous about moving toolboxes. They're so heavy and they always want to slide around because there's no surface area on those casters they have. So you gotta block them up, and even then it just seems like those things want to kind of move around no matter how tight you crank them down. But cool. I'm about to get out of here and go pick up a van and head out to the East Coast. I won't even be using all these new D-rings I put down, but they're there for the job next week. Also not sure if any of you guys are into astrology, but I just got this all done right before the total solar eclipse is about to happen. And it so happens that where I live is right where it goes for full totality. So it's supposed to get completely dark. Also getting ready to do some more work to the Freightliner 3406B cat. Got to change a gasket here on this housing. Pretty straightforward. I might have to change the diaphragm in there too. And just some basic stuff. Hopefully I can get to using this thing in the next couple of weeks. I'd like to use it just for me going to the racetrack for myself. I'm not trying to use it for work or anything. Mainly just for me and the wife to have a place to hang out inside and have a super fun rig to pull the car around in. The car fits in the back. 15 speed 3406B, all mechanical. I already put a bigger turbo on it. This thing's gonna rip. Got my buddy B-Wag, who's gonna be doing a new vinyl for it. Just gonna do the back half and cover up the pit meeting and get my own logo on the side. Pretty stoked. I think we'll have time to do that in the next month or two, hopefully. Both pretty busy hitting events, drift events, racing, whatever it is, so it's hard to get our schedules to align. But hopefully the next hopefully during the spring, before it gets too deep in the season, I get this thing squared away and looking cool. Like to lower the front, lower the rear. Just not enough time.